Hey, what's up guys, back again with another video. Today we are going to review the Prisma Megamix card for your Amiga. This is a brand new hardware device that is capable of playing compressed audio on your Amiga 1200 using the clockport connector or any Amiga with a 02 or 03 connector. In this video we are going to focus on the Amiga 1200. If you want a review of how well it performs on an Amiga 4000, check out Dan Wood's review on his findings in his A4000. Cheers Dan! Now back to the review. The Prisma Megamix is not a new card. It was originally announced back in 2013 and has undergone many revisions and delays until it was finally announced by Amiga Kit in September as being available to purchase. I do want to stress that this isn't a sound card, rather it's a music card. What's the difference, you may ask? Well, the best way to explain the difference is as follows. A sound card can mix different sounds to different channels. All these channels can be recorded, edited, for example adding drums to one channel, bass on another. A music card simply reads data from a memory stream and decodes it to the audio output. It cannot record, edit or compose any music, and there is simply no way for a card like this to work with an a-eon based sound tracker, for example. The package comes with the card itself, an installation disc, a backplate to install and use in an Amiga 4000. There is an optional Amiga 1200 backplate by Amiga Kit that you can purchase separately. The backplate contains an audio output so you can pass through polar audio. It's a nice touch. Installation in an Amiga 1200 is fairly straightforward, but there's a catch. To use this card in an Amiga 1200, you need to purchase an optional clockport cable. One is not provided for you, so you must connect the clockport cable from the Prisma Megamix to the clockport connector on the Amiga 1200. And there is a backplate connector also to feed out to the back of the Amiga that has connectors for both audio out and audio inter-out polar audio into the card. Installing the driver is fairly straightforward, just follow the prompts and there's not much else to do. A bundled program called Prisma Play is provided to test the card out with. Finally, connecting up polar audio to the audio input and my PC speakers to my audio output. There is also another audio output which I'm directly recording into Audacity on the PC, so you'll be able to hear how this sounds. So let's test this card out. The first thing I try is running Prisma Play and loading an MP3. It works and sounds great. I navigate around Workbench and load Deluxe Paint, all while the song continues to play without any hitches or stutters. Pretty cool stuff. So rather than leave it here, I decided to take this a little further. As some of you know, I have a few ports of Amiga games out there. Now I decided to dust off my port of Heretic, and I decided to add Prisma support for it to see how easy it would be. I downloaded the MHI development library from Aminet. The documentation and examples were really helpful and easy to follow, and after 2 or 3 hours I had something to test. So let's take a listen. This is OGG audio files mixing in with the sound effects. As you can hear, it's pretty good stuff, and the CPU doesn't seem to take a hit at all. Finally uploaded Heretic, including Prisma support and the source code to AmiNet. It should be available by the time this video is released or close to it, so enjoy this and let me know what you think. Alright guys, so what did you think of the Prisma Megamix card? Now, I'm going to talk about the good things I like about this card and the bad things I like about this card. Now first, the good stuff. Now the first thing is, this is new Amiga hardware, and of course I love new Amiga hardware, and I always like to throw money at anything new that's coming out. So I jumped at the chance of getting a Prisma Megamix card, and for $78 US, it's an absolute steal of a card, and I'm very happy with my purchase. And if you're into playing MP3s or any type of compressed audio on your Amiga, this is a great solution for you. And in many cases, it's actually better than a dedicated sound card for your Amiga, because this particular card has one job only, and it does it really well. As you saw previously, I was able to run an MP3 and drag windows around, load deluxe paint, and do some stuff around Workbench, and it didn't hitch one iota. So that's a great feature to have. And the third thing is, it was really easy to develop for. I was able to download the MHI development kit from AmiNet and incorporate Prisma audio into my port of Heretic. It only took me about 2 or 3 hours to get it up and running. Very cool stuff. And it's one thing that I'm interested in doing with my other ports of software. So stay tuned for some more stuff. Okay, so now for the bad stuff. The first thing is, the Polar pass-through is average at best. There's something wrong with the Polar audio sound. To the Amiga fans out there that love Polar audio sound, that 8-bit sampled sound, you're going to be a little disappointed. I think a better solution would be to feed the Polar audio out into a mixer rather than into the backplate of the Prisma Megamix card. And I do want to stress that the capture that I did was directly coming out of the audio out from the backplate of the Prisma audio directly into Audacity with no compression or no effects, nothing at all. My second criticism, and this is the big one for me. Now, AmigaKit advertises this card to work with an Amiga 1200, but when you actually buy a Prisma Megamix, you don't actually get a clock port cable to connect the card to your Amiga 1200. And I think that's a little bit misleading. I really want AmigaKit to incorporate every piece of cabling required to make this thing work. If you're going to advertise this thing as working with an Amiga 1200, provide all the pieces, including the clock port cable and the specific Amiga 1200 backplate that goes with the Prisma Megamix card if you want to use it in an Amiga 1200. Now, in comparison, something like a Rapid Road by Individual Computers, that came with every little piece of cabling and everything needed to make it work with an Amiga 1200 as it was advertised to do. So I really would like to see AmigaKit provide everything rather than nickel and diming their customers with cables and $2 cables and $3 cables here and there. And the biggest problem for me is I wasn't too concerned about having to pay a couple of bucks for another clock port cable. My biggest issue is I would have to wait 2 more weeks for this cable to arrive from the UK to the US. I was fortunate that I did have a clock port cable from my Rapid Road that I didn't use because I used my Rapid Road in my Amiga 4000, and that works just fine. But come on, AmigaKit, please do a better job. Provide everything you need to make this thing work in an Amiga 1200. It would be really nice if this was a true sound card with an AHI driver and a true 16-bit solution for your Amiga. Now, again, this is not a huge criticism because I knew this going in, and you know, that's advertised. It's very clearly specified that this is a music card only, not a sound card for your Amiga. So that's a fairly minor criticism. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know what you guys thought of my review of the Prisma Megamix. I tried to be as fair as possible. I have pretty much beat this card to hell in the last 48 hours and done all sorts of tests with it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And for those people that are interested, check out AmiNet for my port of Heretic. It should be available now with the Prisma support. Otherwise guys, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on this video. Let me know what you thought about it, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now.